Hello, on today's episode of the Comics Panel, we're going to be talking about Logan. All right.
Yes, the movie.
The movie Logan is coming out
He's coming
relatively soon.
Hey, you got Wolverine on.
Yeah, he's wearing Wolverine.
He's already celebrating this.
It's all about Logan.
It's all about the Logan. He is the man with what? An adamantium skeleton or
Animanium skeleton, animanium claws.
healing factor?
Healing factor,
Depending
and
that
who you
kicks
read.
practically
Yeah.
immortal,
No
Pretty
animanium.
much.
enhanced
one
strength, speed, agility, blah, blah.
But you know what? That's actually
The
hurts
ladies'
him
man?
too. He is a ladies' man. Well, because you know what?
Yeah,
He'd have to
Viper,
be being 100
Spider-Woman,
years
yeah.
old.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna get lucky once in a while.
They had an iconic cover of Logan. It's all his girls, they said, from the past. And it's
Yeah.
like an interesting book.
No doubt. I mean, it's got to be a thick one too, because I mean,
He's everything.
He's 90. Well, and
Whoever knows
He can
how
do it
old
all.
he'd be.
Well, if he's
Well, this is in the
24,
future, though,
He's
yeah.
25. He was born in the early 1900s, so
Yeah.
he's 100 plus.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So you've got to figure he's got to get lucky more than once.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But one thing I like about when his healing factor goes, that's why it's important with his adamantium. That's what's been able to allow him to live, because he had the super healing factor, because that's in your body. Normal people couldn't take that. So when his healing factor goes, that's what starts
He's
to kill
gonna
him.
die.
Right,
Yeah,
because they've done, Silvestri did an issue where he lost his healing factor altogether, and he was just slowly dying
Oh,
because
yeah.
that metal was in his body.
Yeah, poison.
Yep. That's what it basically was. So now we have the Logan movie. So we got off track because we saw this cool shirt that Mike found in the dumpster. But why would they throw it away?
It looks like it's going to be
Good
pretty
find.
good, though, actually.
looks
It's
amazing.
not going to be... It's just going to be called Logan, not Old Man Logan, which, originally I thought was going to be called. But it's not going to follow the storyline that was in the comic books exactly. It's going to be set in the future, and he's going to not have his healing factor, or it's going to be Fritz on the Fritz.
It's on the Fritz.
So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and he's aged, and it's in a bad world, so to speak. There's not that many mutants, and the ones that are
That's the
around...
disease that's going around.
well, we're not sure what it's going to be. It's a
something's
disease,
happening.
but it's something's
Killing them
happening.
off. Where are the mutants?
So they're
I think
maybe
that-
it's just
that
end of
cloud from the
mutant
Inhumans.
cycle.
It could be what was that called? The Terrigen.
Yeah, Terrigen cloud.
Terrigen
cloud.
mist.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
what's doing it. So we don't know yet, but we do know there's a main villain, and
The Reavers.
are going to be kicking some major butt, and then we're going to see his daughter,
Clone daughter.
clone daughter. Well, you had
Test tube baby.
test tube baby,
X-23.
and there's Laura Kinney. She'll be in it. She'll
Yep.
have 2 claws from each hand and 1 claw
And
from
one in
each
the foot.
So that should be good. That's going to be interesting. At least they're keeping her the same per se. They're
Yeah,
not changing it,
yeah.
because that's what made her interesting, is having a claw in the foot.
Exactly.
Dakin, his son, has 3, but one comes
One
from...
comes in the center
What's
of
the
his.
point?
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
Well, to be different.
maybe come from his shoulders or his teeth or something. I don't know. Seriously, I mean,
Hey, he
come
had
on.
to have something to piss him off and put a chip on his shoulder.
Put shoulder blades. I think
I
that
got
would be
this
cool.
stupid inside claw.
Yeah, well, it doesn't do
Oh, we'll make
anything.
it magic so it can cut anything.
And he can do like a Cuisinart.
Yeah.
There's
There you
your
go.
onions. Enjoy. But
Voila.
so what we're going to see with the movie is Professor X is certainly aged. He's suffering from some debilitating brain disease, if you will.
Or whatever.
And
He's not always with it.
and we got Wolverine, who's old and hurting, and he gets scars now because his body
Yeah.
can heal.
And he's not real aggressive, at least he hasn't been.
They said they kept it
yeah.
in. He kept it in.
He
for
kept
some
it in,
reason.
so, well...
Why? You know?
Well, if his healing factor's not working too good, he's not going to try to get in that many fights.
But his face can take a punch. You know, you're
I
gonna
guess.
hurt your fist before he hurts his face. You know, so I mean.
But then you'll
they
see
said
the
he
metal in his face when it doesn't heal back.
But it'll scar back, they said.
Yeah.
But the thing was, they said he kept his rage going. That's odd that he kept his rage intact, because that's
Maybe
what.
even mellowed out a little bit with age.
Yeah, that's true.
He has a kid now. He's a father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
it-
he doesn't know. It's a test tube baby. He doesn't find out till halfway through the picture.
Well, it was a good thing. But you know what? I'm wondering, because they said her claws or the metal does not go through her entire
It's
body.
just her claws. It's not.
So
she
that's
doesn't have the
interesting.
enhanced skeleton.
So, you know, because that could be part of her human side, because when she was being created, in order to give her the female DNA, the test doctor put her own genetic code in there to help
Yeah.
it. So that's going to be an interesting
Kind of like
twist.
the frog DNA from Jurassic Park
Sure,
to
but-
fill in the gaps.
but different because she's not a frog.
No, she's not a frog.
But it was good because they made her female and they brought that little aspect in, and they can always play around with that too. in
And she
time.
can be the future Wolverine once Hugh Jackman is done, and this could
She's-
be his last.
Well, she's in the comics right now as the main Wolverine. X-23,
Yeah, well,
right?
X-23 is the
Yep.
Wolverine, all new, all different.
And
Or maybe it's just all new Wolverine.
all new Wolverine.
Are you reading that?
No,
Because I'm not either.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah, I kind of stay with DC, so.
I'm more DC guy now. I used to be all Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, not all Marvel. I did 50-50. I got a lot of titles, but I think DC has
Mostly
better,
all
better
DC
stuff right now.
recently.
I agree because they're not throwing stuff on the wall. See
no.
what's sticking. You
There's
know?
great characters. I just don't know what Marvel's doing right now.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
I mean, they still have the old man Logan title out there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which
that's
isn't
still-
that bad of a book, really. I read it off the shelf. It isn't that bad. Old Man Logan. But I don't read the all new Wolverine.
But that's interesting, even with Logan, if they took all the different parts of Old Man Logan, other stories of Wolverine to make this story, they said there's a lot of things they can't do that made Old Man Logan great, was bringing
Well,
in Marvel
all the
characters.
other characters. They
Right.
couldn't
Hulk,
make
Captain
that
America, all those
future
guys,
that
Hawkeye.
screwed up as it was in,
Right.
in the book.
Couldn't
in the
do
book,
it.
the Hulks were running around and being terrorists
So
and everything
this
else.
movie-
They
Movie's
bring in the
gonna be-
Reavers. There's a good substitute.
The movie's
Well,
just
that's
going to
all
be a combination of all different storylines from the Wolverines. From
Well, they pick and choose,
Yeah.
which is what a lot of comic book movies do. They'll be pick and choose
yeah.
certain scenes out of different stories that were in the comics, and they just kind of make them fit into the movie, even though they may not have been related really in the books.
all right, as longtime readers of Wolverine, and I know you are a huge fan of Wolverine, and you read a lot of the newer stuff. This premise that they're doing in the movie, do you like the idea that they're take ideas from different things to make it work, or would you rather see them just like, here's the premise of the story, let's kind of not necessarily rewrite it, but go with them. All right, these are the main points of the story, 1, 2, and 3, and let's write around that to make it work for the screen and the characters we have rights to, and then let it go that way? Or do you like when they pick and choose and pull something out of here, something out of this storyline, this one out of this one?
I don't like the piecemeal because you have a great story that was written. So imagine if they made the Killing Joke but said, let's take different Joker stories and piece it
Or
together.
different parts.
You would make it a whole different storyline. And just like, let's just say the Phoenix
Yeah.
saga. Let's just say they changed that up. Then the part where everybody fought for Jean Grey to live. And they made a total Phoenix story. Not the kind of one they did in X3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this, you'd be like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth because Byrne and Claremont and the guys and everybody else that worked on making this the classic it was, you ruin it. So with Old Man Logan, okay, they can't bring the heroes in, but don't change that great storyline saying, okay, now we got this, now we got that. Because a lot of times when directors touch it with their vision, they don't have the fan, I don't want to say in heart, but they don't have the passion like we do for this stuff, like how we're talking about this stuff now. They would just say, okay, give me the history on Logan, got it, boom. Like
Or I've
even
seen
now-
this scene in one of the books, so let's
Right,
put this
well,
in there.
They're bringing Essek into
Yeah.
this, Mr. Sinister. He's part of this deal. He was never part of this deal with creating X-23.
Yep.
But now he's part of it. That's
I-
what they're hinting at.
I agree with you 100%.
I'd rather see them
yeah.
just do something totally new for the movies that didn't really have anything to do with what happened in the books.
Fine, exactly. But then
You
don't
know,
take other parts.
Keep
Yeah.
the core character the same. You know, obviously the character has to be the same. You know,
Agreed.
you can't
Just-
change.
Can't change
You can't
Wolverine.
change the characters too much. But as far as the storylines and stuff, you know, use the characters. Just do something completely different.
Original, completely
Yeah, do
original.
something different.
I
Don't pick
agree.
and choose, because as a fan, I can say, well, I know that didn't happen in this story. It happened in something else, and it
That's
just
a good
kind of
point.
deflates
Yeah,
it.
just
I mean, if you're not a reader of X-Men or any movie that they do for years and years and years, you may not pick up on that, so it doesn't matter. But for those of us who do know the storylines, it
We're
kind of
upset.
cheapens it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, couldn't you think of anything else? This is complete fantasy. You can come up with anything.
And
It's like-
it doesn't hurt the line.
It's like, just because you're a famous director or you write for some big movie studio
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can write anything better. Obviously, you have no respect for the person that wrote the story.
True.
That came up. There's like a slap in the face.
That's
mean,
right.
The story is written for you. Directors are smart.
Yeah, either follow it
the-
or come up with something completely new.
Either come make it brand new, like you said, or take the following story, and if you have to make changes because of characters, but here's the premise of the story. Don't
Keep it
change
as close as
Bring it
possible.
back to life. I mean, that's
Right.
what directors do. They love to tell stories and bring stuff back to life. I think the comic book fan of the story is gonna love it. I mean,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
read the story
Yeah.
and you like it, to see it come to life, you're gonna be like, awesome.
He's a
And
great
if
Wolverine.
you-
He really is a
if
great
you
Wolverine.
don't
So
read comics, you're gonna go to the movies and you're gonna find a fantastic story
Right.
told, and you're gonna like it. It's a win-win for the studios and both.
Because you can see Wolverine vulnerable too, right?
yeah,
Because I mean, there are clips on YouTube talking about the X-Men movies and the continuity of it. I mean, the X-Men have a great history, great characters. We just mentioned
well,
with the
yeah.
touch
Continuity's
of the
been
death.
screwed up in the comic books before, though. Too.
I think that they could,
not as bad as what they do with the
yeah,
movies.
they
Not
could have did
near
a
as
better
bad.
job in the movies. I mean,
Yeah.
they're great. They're great action X-Men movies.
Yeah.
But I think for the comic book fan, if they would have just did it a little bit better, they could have been.
Yeah, it would have tied the movies
So
in.
much better.
Well,
Even
just
if
like-
they were made by completely different people and
Well, Days
everything
of
else.
Future Past, they had to pick Wolverine instead of Kitty Pryde because they never really introduced Kitty Pryde
Indeed,
way later. And if they'd introduced her earlier, then it would have been a better shift because when they put Wolverine back to 1970, Kitty Pryde wasn't
Yeah.
existing in the 70s.
Yeah.
So that
Well,
was a
they-
big fumble on Brian Singer's part.
Yeah, wow.
You know, but one
And they
thing we
could have
for-
used Kitty Pryde to just do it correctly, make a good movie,
Well,
and you don't.
now at this
you're
point,
introduced to a
reboot it.
character.
Yeah.
You don't need to know all this prior stuff. You
Nope.
can
Exactly.
done correctly. You can learn it all in
But
2
do you
seconds.
want to reboot now? I mean, we already hit that
Yeah.
story. There's so many other great storylines they could pick out.
Exactly.
Don't. Just the
Just-
Hellfire Club.
do
is
the
coming up.
Shi'ar. Do the Shi'ar. Do Cosmic.
Oh my gosh.
I'd love to see Cosmic
And then
X-Men.
you get Guardians of the Galaxy involved in that.
Starjammers, man. Come on.
Right. But here, not to get off the subject of Wolverine, but let's just say this is going to be R-rated. We're going to see violence.
Yeah.
Claws are going through people, not just in the
Yeah.
after effect. We're
Exactly.
going to see a claw going through a person's skull, which what Wolverine does. He's the best at what he does, and the best at what he does is killing
Kill people.
So this is going to be amazing. This is Deadpool-esque. You know,
I
We
think-
may even get a glimpse of Sabretooth.
Yep.
that's going to be awesome. if
I
they
think
do.
it's going to be a good movie. Like I said, even
Might be
though
flashback, but
I wasn't crazy about them picking and choosing things, but I still think it's going to be a good movie and it's worthwhile to
So
check
we
it
should
out.
I think so.
recommend.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would
just on
check it out.
basically
Gotta go
what
see
we've witnessed so far. Obviously, we have yet to see the movie, but it does look pretty good.
About 12 years ago, we saw the trailer. So
Maybe we'll get invited to the red carpet event.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
see.
yeah, they're just
Does anybody
knocking
know
on our
anybody?
Maybe
door.
at Kurt's house, he'll throw a red carpet out. He downloaded the movie illegally. No, he doesn't download
No, he
movies
doesn't do anything
illegal.
like that.
If we still want to get our ice cream later, we got to be good.
We'll just
Okay.
roll out our own red carpet at the local movie theater. Just roll it out.
We'll just walk down it. Da-da-da. So did we nail this one?
I believe
I think
so.
we
Yeah.
nailed it hard.
So go
Check
see
out Logan when it comes out in your local movie theaters.
If you get tired of the same old story, please turn some comic book pages. Leave comments in the box below.
below.
Subscribe to us too, maybe.
Yeah,
Please.
subscribe to us on YouTube
Please.
and
And
check
like
us
us
out
on
on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Like us. Come on.
Somebody
Bye.
has to.
Yeah, because we can't. Bye.